Okay.
We are now live.
All right, thanks, Julian. Good evening, everybody. We'll call to order our regularly scheduled meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. It is September 6th at 7 p.m. Members present tonight, we have Ryan Chitwood, Dick Peterson, Vice Chair Claire Conger, Deputy City Clerk Cynthia Gaines, and Assistant City Attorney Joelle Braithwaite. And my name is Jimmy Praley. First item on our agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes. Has the board had the opportunity to review the minutes of our last session? And if so, any additions, corrections, or modifications?
Mr. Chairman, maybe second.
I second that.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the minutes will stand as approved. Before we get to our regularly scheduled business, because this is a virtual meeting, anybody who wishes to testify needs to do so by way of written testimony that will be submitted to the board in consideration prior to the hearing. Anybody who wishes to submit public testimony may do so by going to www.annapolis.gov/ABC. So with that, we will declare the public hearing open. First item on our agenda, we have an application for the transfer of an alcoholic beverage license, Class A2B, beer, wine, and liquor, on sale 6 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week with a special Sunday license. In addition, beer, wine, and liquor tasting by Bhavika Patel and Crichton Chase for the premises known as Lighthouse Liquors, LLC, trading as Lighthouse Wine and Spirits, located at 2012 West Street, Annapolis 21401. I heard Mr. Lyman earlier. There he is. Can you hear us all right, Brian?
We can. Can you hear us all right?
Yep.
All right,
And I see Mr. Chase is here too, on a different one.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Chase vacated the office today. He's one of my law partners, so he decided to do his meeting from home.
Yep, good for him. Good for him. All right. Well, what we'll do here, Brian, I'm going to have everybody raise their right hand. I'll administer the oath if you plan on testifying. Then I'll have you introduce the applicants, and we'll turn it over to you. Okay. So anybody who's planning on testifying, if you could raise your right hand, please.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I am, but I'll raise my
No,
hand.
you're doing a good job, Brian. Just keep it up for me.
Good.
Yeah. All right. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be true and correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm noting some affirmative yeses. That's good. Mr. Lyman, if you could introduce your clients and get them to tell us their name and address for the record. And then Mr. Chase, I'll have you do it after Brian introduces his folks over there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Praley. I have to my left Bhavika Patel. Would you please speak up and say your name and address?
Yeah, my name is Bhavika Patel. My address.
Your address.
Oh, yeah. 4845.
Go speak up.
Royal Coach Paint Drive, Elcrease. This is not mine.
Royal Coachman Drive and the zip code.
21075.
All right, and Mr. Chase.
Good evening, everybody. Crichton Chase. My address is 221 Duke of Gloucester Street in Annapolis, 21401.
All right, great.
Address. I think you need to give your home address also for purposes of the
You want the
application.
home address? That's fine. 929 Diggs, Diggs Road, Crownsville, Maryland, 21032.
Okay, great. All right, Mr. Lyman, we'll turn it over to you to present your client's case. You can do so by proper testimony or a combination of both, but we'll turn it over to you and then we'll see if the board has any questions, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Praley, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, board members. My name is Brian, last name is Lyman, Lyman, and I'm the counsel for the applicants and contract purchasers of a business that's been known as Lighthouse Wine and Spirits for a number of years. It's located at 212B West Street, that's Annapolis, Maryland. And I believe that the establishment is actually pretty well known to the board. It's had some issues in the not too recent past. And my clients, Bhavika Patel and her family members are here. This will be a family establishment where the three of them, Mr. Patel is here in the background, and their son.
Hey, sir, how are you all?
This is Happy Patel. they will be the ostensible operators should the board grant the transfer and the deal actually closes with the seller. Darby Inc. is located or has operated this establishment for a number of years. I don't actually know how many years, but as Mr. Praley recited, we're here for a transfer of a packaged goods store ostensibly. We're not going to change the hours of operation immediately. My clients would like the license to be transferred to them, and I would like to incorporate all of the materials that were filed and confirm with the applicants that everything that was filed with the board remains true and accurate. Is that correct, Ms. Patel?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Chase?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is a establishment that I understand, and I had a discussion with Alderwoman Pindell Charles by email today, that we understand needs to make some improvements to the situation that's happening at the property. I've given some of the details to Ms. Pindell Charles about what my client's plans might be. And I think it's important to remember that these are fledgling business owners. I believe that they're fit and proper people to hold the license, and I believe that their application shows that. And I have warned them that this is going to be a difficult task at this property. There's been some issues with vagrancy and an adjoining property, and they do have some plans together with the landlord, who's a new landlord, in order to address this. I would mention the landlord is a family member also, and I actually see Mr. Bobby Patel has tuned in here as a presenter also. He's the owner of Rocadia Properties, who purchased the real estate shopping center in May. And Mr. Patel is a resident of Georgia, but he is interested in turning around this business, as well as the shopping center as a whole, and dealing with some of the challenges that have arisen over the last 30 or 40 years, I think, at this property. My clients are well aware of those issues. We've met this evening for about an hour and a half talking about some of the concerns that Alderwoman Pindell Charles raised to me, and they understand that it's going to be a challenge. One of the main changes that they anticipate in the actual operation of the premises is going to be changing the product mix. They intend to get rid of selling of single beers and single serving alcohol in order to try to prevent those customers from coming into the store and creating issues with consumption, either immediately adjacent or on the premises. With that said, they understand it's going to be a challenge, and they do have to remain competitive in the marketplace. And these are changes that, while they've been in the store and helping with some of the operations to get a feel for the business, they really are going to have to meet that challenge head on and make adjustments on the fly as far as the product mix. There's also plans with Mr. Patel to potentially in the future possibly expand or re-outfit the store, both the interior and the exterior. Those plans are not on the docket tonight, and my clients do understand the need and necessity for them coming back to the board and getting permission and having appropriate approved plans for any changes that they would make to the operation. We're here tonight on a basic transfer. They hope to run and operate Lighthouse Liquors much as it has been operated with the same hours, 8 a.m. until 12 midnight, 7 days a week, and to fill the public need that was proven when the license was originally issued. With that, I'd be happy to open up to questions and to allow any of the board members to inquire of my clients.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lyman. Mr. Patel, I don't think you were on when we got everybody's name and address for the record. If you could just give us your full name and address, please.
Yeah. My name is Bhavika Patel.
He's asking Mr. Patel, Bobby Patel.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Patel. Yep. Ms. Patel, we got you. Mr. Patel, if you could just give us your name and address, please. Bobby.
Yes, my name is Bobby Patel. You want me to give you Maryland address or Georgia address?
Maryland address is fine.
Maryland, 1033 Spa Road, apartment F as in Frank, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Okay, great. Thanks. I just wanted to make sure that we got that for the record. Mr. Lyman, you already mentioned Alderwoman Pindell Charles's concerns that you've apparently already addressed with her today, which is great. I'm glad that you guys were able to connect via email. We also did receive public comment on this establishment by Miss Donna Allen and Miss Marianne Dillon. I believe those comments were forwarded to you by the city clerk's office, and the board has also reviewed those. Initial impression is it's the same sort of concerns, drug use concerns, litter, trash, rubbish, vagrancy, homelessness, and the like. Are your clients planning on, they're going to be invested for the long haul if this license is transferred, potentially refurbishing. Do they have any immediate, when the business is transferred, I should say, because I understand that the sale hasn't been effectuated, do they have any immediate plans on how to best address those situations?
I actually should have mentioned that together, my client with Mr. Patel are planning on putting up a more robust fence along the property line. As the board members may or may not know, the adjoining property is actually a developed low-income housing property and owned by a company that operates that housing. And there is a large portion of the property that is a wooded area that abuts my client's property that's put into a conservation easement with the city of Annapolis. And I think it's in that location where sort of this vagrancy and the housing challenges have arisen. We had discussions with the former landlord about the type of fencing that they tried putting up, and chain link and cyclone fencing would be cut through by bolt cutters in a matter of days, typically, to reopen up a thoroughfare through the side parking lot on this property to that wooded area. So Mr. Patel has a plan. He's got surveyors engaged, and I believe he's interviewing or receiving bids from a fencing contractor to put up a more robust fence that would actually separate and prevent the pass through and cut through of any of these sort of individuals, unauthorized individuals who are not there for any commercial purposes on the shopping center, from cutting through the back lot and being obstructed by the building, also trying to make it to that wooded area. I expressed to Mr. Patel that this is important. He anticipates that the contractor will have an appropriate fence permit in hand, and that the completion of the fencing should be by the end of this month. So that's the immediate step. Beyond that, Mr. Patel has installed additional cameras on the exterior of the building, some additional lighting on the rear of the premises. And, my clients, to the extent that they've been there, have really tried to be vigilant about picking up all litter and trash that's on their property and preventing it from, finding its way to the adjoining woodlands. Once the fence goes up, I think that'll be, quite a bit more clear as far as how that works and what area they're supposed to be policing, as it were. They're also making a concerted effort to actually engage law enforcement, and I'm thankful to Ms. Pindell Charles for reaching out to us, because I think that we're going to have an introduction and a meeting between the Patels and the neighboring administrators of that property in order to get together and make sure everybody's on the same page with how to deal with this and make a concerted effort to prevent loitering on the property, prevent litter, and to generally engage the police in a productive way instead of a purely reactive way in dealing with issues and problems that arise on the property. As Ms. Pindell Charles indicated, she said she wasn't from Missouri, but that she appreciated the Show Me States motto. And so I've explained to my clients that that's what they need to make front and center a priority, and Mr. Patel as well, that they show that some of these issues can be confronted, and that they're willing to be good neighbors and deal with these problems and make appropriate financial investments in their own business in order to protect the investments they're making in purchasing the business and in purchasing the real property, as Mr. Patel did in May.
No, I appreciate that, and I think the board appreciates the fortitude in trying to make changes before things get worse. As you mentioned, Mr. Lemon, also this has kind of been a bit of they're a well-known establishment, and unfortunately, it's because they've been before the board so many times for underage sales and the like. I understand that, these two individuals who are going to be operating, one's your law partner, and the other, she's been in the alcoholic beverage industry in the past. Is she planning on what are the carding procedures going to be? Are we going to have a scanner in there? We just want to make sure that we're not continuing the trajectory of selling to minors here.
I certainly would advise having a scanner. They've been, and certainly the current operator has been on notice that any other violations are certainly going to jeopardize the license as well as any transfer of this license. And I believe, I don't know that they have a 100% ID check policy per se, but Happy, do you want to address that?
Yes, sir. For that reason, we just got the new POS. Once we scan the product, without scanning the license, it won't go through. So whosoever wants the liquor, something like consume the things which have the liquor, they have to scan their ID first. Without scanning the ID, we cannot proceed further.
So it sounds to me like the current owner has installed a point of sale system and that you have to scan an ID. So there's a scanner in place already. They'll continue that certainly if the transfer is approved and the deal closes.
Okay, great. And I'm assuming you've given the prospective licensees copies of this board's rules and regulations and gone through them probably ad nauseum with them.
I've given her another copy tonight, which I'm handing to her right now.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, with that, I'll turn it over to the board to see if any board members have any questions. Yeah, Dick.
I have a couple of questions. I appreciate the fact that you're going to stop selling singles. Can we really depend upon you to do that? Because singles do cause the problems. And secondly, my other question is it really necessary in that locations to stay open till midnight?
So those are two good questions. Ms. Patel, if you'd speak up and commit on the singles question, that'd be good, I think, for Mr. Peterson. Answer the first question first, which is about the singles. They're committing.
Yeah, we stopped the sell the single beer. We stopped the single beers and we tried to add the more good client.
So she'll commit, as I understand it, to stopping the sale of singles, the single beers, and I think that probably includes certain
Even
liquor, spirits products
yeah,
also
everything.
that are singles. And I mean, as a lawyer, I don't know if I want that as a restriction on the license necessarily, but that's a commitment I think that my clients are willing to make in good faith, for purposes of representing to the board that they're committed to the change the issues. I don't know about the 12 o'clock midnight. I know that the store has been historically open from 8 a.m. until 12 o'clock midnight. As they get more familiar with the customers, with the clientele, if they're successful, I think that probably you're right. I think being open till midnight is potentially, unneeded if they can actually turn the business around and start selling some, bottles of wine with better markup in order to make margins. It really is kind of a business question on the hours of operation. I think the same goes for being open at 8 a.m. in the morning too, honestly, that's something I think that they also would evaluate seriously. I know that they take deliveries from distributors and organize the store and all. And as a business owner, you don't want to pay for staff being there and the door's not being open. And if a customer wants the sale to happen at 8 or 8:15 in the morning, and you have staff there anyway, that enticement is there. But I would encourage them here, if the transfer happens and as they enter a hopefully busy holiday season, to evaluate those issues and potentially come back to the board with alterations to the schedule and potentially make more commitments like the single commitment on the hours.
Thank you. I also would encourage that.
You understand that? As far as the hours, I mean, the hours of operation are potentially problematic and contribute to the problems that we've been talking about this evening and with the Alderwoman.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not even going to ask you what the older person said, but I can guess. And I would strongly encourage that if you don't need to stay open that late, don't.
We can try.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Mr.
any other questions from the board regarding this transfer request? Nope, no other questions. Mr. Lyman, anything you want to add?
I would just add that I believe we've appropriately advertised on the premises, and we submitted affidavit by actually Happy Patel signed that affidavit, and my staff member Crystal Clark signed the mailing affidavit. So I believe we complied with all of the necessary notice requirements under both the board's rules, under the alcoholic beverage article, and under the liquor board's rules and regulations for appropriately advertising. And I just asked that any of the documents that we've submitted be included as exhibits potentially at this hearing if there's any issues for appeal or any other potential issues procedurally speaking, and be included in the record. That's all.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Lyman. Everything that's been submitted will be accepted and become part of the official record.
Thank you, Mr.
All
Crowley.
right. Well, with no additional questions, do I hear a motion regarding this application for the transfer of an alcoholic beverage license class A2 beer, wine, and liquor on sale 6 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week with a special Sunday license. In addition, beer, wine, and liquor tasting for the premises known as Lighthouse Liquors, LLC, trading as Lighthouse Wine and Spirits, 2012 West Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, the request is granted. Be careful, guys. Don't let us down. We don't want to see you again, okay?
Okay.
We don't let you down, sir.
Thank you,
All right.
thank you, Mr. Fraley. Appreciate it. We've got a little paperwork to follow up with Ms. Gaines, and I want to thank her. Probably should have thanked her on the record officially, but thank you, Ms. Gaines. I appreciate your help in pointing out a minor correction I need to make the application. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for everything.
All right, have a good night, guys.
You, sir, have a good night.
Thank you.
Mr. Chase, good to see you.
Bye-bye.
All right, with that, we'll declare the public hearing closed and we will declare our disciplinary hearing open. First, we have a number of violations to go through tonight. The first is Harborside Grill LLC trading as Latitude 38, which is 12 through 14 Dock Street, Annapolis, 21401. In accordance with the Alcoholic Beverages article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, the Annapolis Charter and Code, and the rules and regulations of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board of the City of Annapolis. This disciplinary hearing is in connection with citation 23-11985, which alleges the selling or providing of alcoholic beverages to individuals under the age of 21. And I see we've got a couple people here. We've got Glenn Woodger and Kevin Blonder. If you guys could turn your cameras on and unmute yourself, please. Kevin, Glenn, are you guys there?
Both muted.
Yeah, they're both muted with cameras off.
Nope. There's Glenn.
There's Glenn. Glenn, can you unmute yourself? Should be a little microphone in the bottom left corner.
There
You
he
got
is.
it.
You got me now?
Yep,
Yep.
we got you. Do you know if Mr. Blonder's around? There he is. Here we go.
Can you see me now?
Nope, I can
Not
hear
yet.
you, but I can't see you.
It said start video, or
Yeah,
Yeah, start video.
the host has asked you to start your video. Okay. Allow Zoom. Okay. You see me?
no,
Nope, not yet.
Start video. I push that button and it says allow Zoom to access your camera from your device settings. Okay.
Kevin, are you on your phone or are you on your laptop?
Phone.
If you can't make it work, it's not the end of the world. We can hear you. That's the most important part.
Okay.
All right. All right. So for those who are going to be testifying, please raise your right hand while I administer the oath. Mr. Woodger, that would be you. Mr. Blonder, I'm going to assume you're raising your right hand, even though I can't see it.
Yes, sir.
Um,
It is. It is.
Okay, good. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and Mr. Woodger, could you give us your full name and address for the record, please?
Glenn Woodger, GLENN, WOODGER, 22 Silverwood Circle, Unit 3, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
All right, thanks. Mr. Blonder, same thing, full name and address.
Yep, Kevin Blonder, 2901 Good Luck Lane, Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay, thank you both very much. Have you had the opportunity to review the police report associated with this citation?
Yes,
Okay, and
Yes,
do you
I
all
have.
admit, do you admit the charges?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. With that, the police report will serve as the city's evidence in this case. Now, this will be your opportunity to kind of present your case in mitigation. Let us know what happened, what you're doing to try to prevent this in the future. We'll turn it over to you, okay?
Okay, I'm Kevin, and I'll be the one speaking.
Okay, go right ahead.
Our employee made a mistake. We have a 100% card policy. She didn't do what was supposed to be done. We don't serve anybody without carding them if they order something alcoholic or alcohol in it. We do not serve any vertical IDs, only horizontal IDs, and she just didn't do what she was supposed to do. She's trained. You know, I've been a tips trainer for over 25 years, and you know, as much as we try to get everybody to do everything, she made a human mistake. You know, we didn't fire her. She's still employed there because she needs to work. And, you know, she was honestly sorry for what she did. And us as a business, we're sorry for what she did as well. It's a knock on what we do. And it's not a true picture of how we do things, you know. It's embarrassing, and we don't serve minors, you know. And she made a mistake, and she acknowledged it right away.
Okay. Are you engaging in any sort of training to make sure this doesn't happen in the future? I know you said that you have 100% ID check policy. Are you going over the policy again with staff members? How are you making sure that's enforced?
All the time. We have two shift meetings a day where we go after what we talk about carding. Make sure you card everybody. Here's the date. You know, in the service area, there's the date with the year and the month and the day that they have to be born after. I mean, born before that date. I'm sorry. And then the instructions are up everywhere, and they're given the instructions. And you know, we're always asked, "Did you card? Did you card? Did you card?" Make sure you card them. You know, and you know, we can only try and do what we can do, and hopefully they're doing what they were taught to do and know what they're supposed to do. You know, we don't make any excuses. She made a mistake. We take the consequences for it, and we apologize for it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the candor. Does the board have any questions of Mr. Blonder?
Kevin, are all your employees tip certified?
That's not the case. Management is, yes. Not all the employees are.
Was this
Now,
particular employee tip certified? Do you know?
I don't think she is, but I think she is being certified. Judy Budznick is having a tip certification for us coming up, not just for us, but for other local establishments.
Other establishment.
Yes. Local establishments, I want to say.
Yeah.
All right. Any additional questions for Mr. Blonder or Mr. Woodger? All right. We appreciate you being here tonight. The board will confer on this matter, and we'll render our decision before our next regularly scheduled meeting. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And
Very
again,
good.
we're sorry that happened.
I appreciate
And
it.
we'll do our
Thank you very
best not
much.
to have it again. Okay. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Next one on our agenda is the Westin, in accordance with the alcoholic beverages article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, the Annapolis Charter and Code, and the rules and regulations of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board and the City of Annapolis. This is the disciplinary hearing in connection with citation 23-12000, alleging the sale or providing of alcoholic beverages to individuals under the age of 21. And I see we have a Mr. Rodney Gooden here.
Yes. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi, Mr. Gooden. Can you please give us your name and address for the record?
Sure. It's Rodney L. Gooden. My home address is 7304 Hargrove Court. That's in the city of Glen Burnie, 21060.
Okay, great. Could you please raise your right hand? I'm going to administer the oath really quickly. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, great. All right, Mr. Gooden, we're here on the sale of alcoholic beverages to individuals under the age of 21. Have you had the opportunity to review the police report in connection with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you admit the charges?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, with that, the police report and associated documents will serve as the city's evidence in this case. This is your opportunity to present your case in mitigation. You can tell the board what happened, what you're doing to prevent this in the future, but we'll turn it over to you and then we'll see if the board has any questions, okay?
Thank you. First of all, please accept my apology for this mishap. The individual that was bartending that evening had been with us for less than 6 months. He came tip certified. We also have a certified tips trainer here at the hotel that conducts monthly updates to the training to make sure everyone is on point and everyone understands the severity of not carding individuals who are under 21. This individual has been terminated. He is no longer with the hotel. The tips trainer, again, holds regularly training sessions to make sure that everyone is consistently carding and making sure that everyone's abiding by the rules. We are continuing to monitor the bartenders. There has been supervisors and leaders that have been now placed on every shift to make sure that there is some kind of supervision, to make sure these guys are upholding the law and making sure that, again, that everyone is under 21 is not served, or anyone who has a non-vertical, or excuse me, a vertical card is not served in our bar.
Does the board have any questions about this citation? All right, with no questions, Mr. Gooden, the board will confer on this matter and we'll render our decision before our next meeting, okay?
Thank you very much, guys. Have a great
All
night.
right. Thank you. Okay, next violation is with respect to Blue Bistro LLC trading as Sabor Latino Restaurant and Bar, 502 South Cherry Grove Avenue, Annapolis 21401, in accordance with the alcoholic beverages article of the annotated code of Maryland, the Annapolis Charter and Code, and the rules and regulations of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. The city of Annapolis, this disciplinary hearing is in connection with infraction citation 23-12003, alleging the sale or providing of alcoholic beverages to individuals under the age of 21. So,
Mr. Chair, I don't have the people listed here, but I do have, looks like Missy Dragano is raising her hand, so I'm bringing her forward.
I think that's right.
looks like listed here, Julian, was David Powell and Jose
Espinoza. That's what I have.
Espinoza.
Yeah, I
So you
don't
got-
see them, but
Missy's one of the licensees, correct?
Yeah, I think I'm coming in. Can you guys
Okay.
hear me?
Yep,
sorry.
gotcha.
I don't
No,
know if
that's all right.
can you
We've
see
seen
it?
Misty recently.
No, I see a plant.
Okay, well, let me fix that. Hold on a second.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
That's my work background. Give me a second.
It's all right.
Misty, you're getting a request to actually be promoted to a panelist. I just need you to click yes to that.
Oh, okay, panelist. Sorry, I was saying as
Yeah.
All right, let me fix this. Hey, there you go.
All right, there we go.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. All right. If you guys could both, Misty, if you could just give us your full name, and I think Mr. Powell, if you could get his full name too and address for the record, then raise your hands and I'll administer the oath. Okay.
Sure. Misty Dragano, and the address is 2654A Queen Anne Circle, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Dave Powell, same address, 2654A Queen Anne Circle, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Okay, great. If you could both raise your right hand really quickly. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be true and correct?
I do.
I do.
Okay, great. Have you both had the opportunity to review the police report and associated photographs and documents?
We've seen the report. I've not
Okay.
seen photographs.
Okay, okay. So but you've seen the report and you've been able to read it. Okay, do you
Yep.
guys admit the allegations?
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right. With that, the report will serve as the city's evidence in this case. Just like the last two violations, this is your chance to present your case to the board in mitigation. We'll turn it over to you. Let us know what happened, what you're doing to prevent this from happening in the future, and then we'll see if the board has any questions, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for listening to us and taking the time. As our predecessors, we're deeply sorry that this occurred. Just some background. Everybody on staff, front of the house, as well as all the management had been tip trained before this incident. The incident occurred and this employee is no longer with us. Like everybody else said, we are very serious about making sure that it's 100% carding for all of our staff, all of our bartenders. Once this incident occurred, we immediately had a conversation with management as well as all the front of the house staff and said that this would not be tolerated. Continue to reinforce that with them, and keeping a watchful eye on it. It is not something that we had in the 6 years that we've had a license at the place. We've never had an incident like this. 7 years, thank you. And we do not intend to be back in front of you for another meeting like this.
All right. Well, we hope we don't see you for another meeting like this. Does the board have any questions regarding this violation?
I have none.
No.
I mean, I guess my one question is for you guys, because I remember when we were here a few months ago when you were transferring the license, right, from Seoul to the new business.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about this a little bit, but how were you there the day that this happened?
We were not there. It was 5 o'clock. Our on-site manager was there that day when that occurred, and he immediately called us when it happened.
Sure. How much time are you spending at the business, would you say, just average?
You're in several days.
Between the both of you, I mean,
Yeah.
not under 3 days a week.
Yeah, and I'm in, 1 day a week, popping in just to check on accounting and finance stuff. But, we are in regular contact with the day-to-day management staff. Circling back, one of the other things is making sure that we do have some bilingual staff, so we make sure that the tips training was done in, had translations there in language. So, we're going to stay on top of it. This was a little bit of an eye-opener for us.
All right. Any additional questions from the board? All right. Well, we will confer on this matter and get you our decision before our next meeting. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right. And our last violation for the evening is for Red Wine Bar LLC, trading as Red Wine Bar, 189B Main Street, Annapolis, 21401. In accordance with the alcoholic beverages article of the annotated code of Maryland and the Annapolis Charter, the code rules and regulations of the Alcoholic Beverage Board of the City of Annapolis, this disciplinary hearing is in connection with citation 23-11995, alleging the sale of alcoholic beverages to individuals under the age of 21. Mr. Bolter, I see you're here tonight. If you could just give us your full name and address for the record, and then I will administer the oath, okay?
Brian Bolter, 616 Canal Lane, Annapolis, Maryland, 21409.
All right, thanks. If you could raise your right hand for me really quickly. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the statements you're about to give will be true and correct?
I do.
All right. Mr. Bolter, have you had the chance to review the police report in connection with this infraction?
I have.
Okay, and do you admit the charges?
We do.
Okay. With that, the police report will serve as the city's evidence in this case. Just like the other ones, we'll turn it over to you to present your case in mitigation. Let us know what happened, what you're doing to correct these issues to make sure it doesn't happen in the future.
The server in question is tips trained. Every single front of the house person in our restaurant is tips trained, including management. She chose to not use that knowledge, plus follow our alcohol policy, which is in the handbook for every new hire, to make sure that they card anybody who looks under 40. As a result of this, we have now placed a very large sticker on the front door that says 100% ID check, and instructed every single staff member, taking the opportunity for them to use their judgment, which obviously in this case was very poor judgment, taking the judgment out of our servers' hands, and told them now that anybody under 40 absolutely has to be carded. We impress upon them that drinking is a privilege. It's not a right, that we don't have to serve anybody that we choose not to based on the fact that they can't provide proper ID. And we're trying to empower these servers. It's been very difficult to find servers in Annapolis, to be honest with you, and we're doing our absolute best, and the quality is not as great as we would like. And so we're trying to empower them to take full responsibility and control, and understand the liability, and understand the importance of that part of their job. And we explained to them that this is the most important part of their job, no matter what. And so we feel like between putting the sticker on the door so that everybody who walks into our restaurant now knows if they don't have ID, they're not going to be served, and making sure that all of our servers who are all tips trained, who have all signed our alcohol policy, and have management who are tips trained on site as well, will simply do the right thing when they're put in the position, which is to card anybody who looks under 40.
Okay. Does the board have any questions? All right. Well, here with no questions, Mr. Bolter will confer on this matter, and we will circle back with our decision before our next scheduled meeting. Okay.
I appreciate it. I would also like to say, as with everybody else, we are obviously very extremely sorry for this, and understand the gravity of it as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, we'll declare the disciplinary hearing closed, and we'll move on to some new business. First item on our agenda is a request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property issued to Karen Forrester for a 40th birthday party scheduled on Friday, September 15th, 2023 from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight at 92 West Washington Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. And do we have anybody here tonight for this 40?
I don't see anyone here for that item.
Okay, it looks like, Julian, it's a T Forrester 8@84@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I have Rachel Griffin now raise your hands, but I thought she was here for the next item. Isn't that right, Cindy? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then what we'll do is we'll put this one to the side, and we'll see if anybody shows up for it. I'll
send them an email right now for you.
Okay, great. Thanks. So next is another request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property for a baptism at the Stanton Center. This is by Avilia Reyes for Saturday, October 7th, 2023 from 12 noon to 12 midnight, 92 West Washington Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. All right. And who's here for this one?
This is, I believe, Rachel Griffin. And
hello.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Do you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear Miss Griffin.
You probably.
Who else is here?
I have Jesus.
Okay.
Mr.
Jesus, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right, gotcha. We just need everybody's name and address for the record to start off with, okay?
Okay, my name is Jesus Marroquin Avila, 113 Cardamom Drive, Edgewater, Maryland, 21037.
Okay.
My name is Evelia Luengas, 113 Cardamom Drive, Edgewater, Maryland, 21307.
Okay, Miss Griffin, you too, please.
Rachel Griffin, 1202 Bay Highlands Drive, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Okay, thank you very much. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about this event, okay?
Well, I'm having a this baptism on the date you mentioned, and I would like to serve alcohol. I've done it before, and it's never an issue with us. And I mean, it's just up to you guys if you guys are gonna allow me to have alcohol. And
Okay, yeah.
we always provide the security people. They check IDs and serve alcohol to my 21 plus. We put a band on the wrist and that way we know who can have a little alcohol.
Okay, all right. And it looks like this is starting at noon and going till midnight, right?
Yes, we're gonna
Okay.
start to set up at noon, but the people is gonna come from 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're gonna start setting up at noon, but people aren't gonna be showing up until 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay,
And then,
great.
and then you have a band and a DJ from 4 to 11:30.
No, not from 11:30 a.m. No, from
Okay.
when the party starts, from 5.
5
Yeah.
till 11:30.
Midnight. 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah, 11:30.
That's how long the music will play?
Yes.
So a half hour before things shut down, you're going to stop the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you've done this before. Have you had issues in the past when you've had these events?
Never.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm hoping I'm never have them. Oh, hi,
So
Rachel.
are we.
Hey,
So
hey,
are we. Does the board have any additional questions regarding this request?
No, I move we approve.
Second,
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, your request is granted. Thank you guys so much. Have fun and be safe, all right?
thank
Okay,
you so
thank
very
you.
much too.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have another request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property for the Stanton Center for 74th birthday party, which is scheduled for Saturday, September 30th, 2023 from 3 to 7 p.m. at 92 West Washington Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. And I see we have Wanda Blake present. Ms. Blake, are you there?
muted.
All right. Can you go off mute for us, Ms. Blake?
Okay.
All right.
Can you-
Yep, we got you. Good to see you tonight. Just give us your full name and address for the record, please.
My name is Wanda Blake. My address is 581 Jerry Road in Millersville, Maryland, the 21108.
All right. Tell us a little bit about this party, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, it's a 73rd birthday / retirement party for my aunt. She has cancer and she's our last living relative, oldest relative. And she's retiring from the Anne Arundel County Police Department after 36 years. So the police department is going to be there, and we got a citation from the city of Annapolis for her. And can you see that?
Yeah, I can. That's great.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be a real nice party. And the Baltimore Times is doing a story on her, so the paper will be there. It's just, so we just want to honor her before she passes.
All right. Well, that's a very, very noble thing.
And we have security, and I will be on the drink table.
I was just going to ask you about security. She's retired from the police department, so.
Yeah, and all the cops are going to be there too.
Yeah, Anne Arundel County Police Department is going to be there.
I don't think security is a problem.
No,
it's not. It's not.
All
yeah,
right,
she's well loved by them. She did 36 years there.
Unbelievable.
And you know how to serve drinks.
Well, we're gonna just serve little what do you call those things? I don't even really drink. Wine coolers and stuff like that, little beers and stuff, because I don't really drink.
All right. Does the board have any more questions regarding this request?
Mr.
And the
Chairman,
party is it's only from 3 to 7.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
I second.
All right. All those in
Thank
favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Give-
Ms. Blake, your
Give her a
request is
hug
granted.
for us.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you
Tell
all.
her congrats on the retirement. That's great.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, good night.
All right, next we have a request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property for the Maritime Republic of Eastport for the annual MRE Tug of War charity event, which is scheduled for November 4th, 2023 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Susan Campbell Park and at the end of 2nd Street to Severn Avenue in Eastport. All right, and who's here tonight for this request?
Hello, I'm Patricia Slaughter.
Hi, Ms. Slaughter, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Could you just give us your address for the record, please?
Yes, my address is 809 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit about the tug of war this year.
Well, geez, this will be our 24th tug of war. And as usual, you know, we tug across Spa Creek, and we anticipate maybe 1,500 people. We have security from Elite Security. We're also going to have about 8 certified crowd managers there on the property. And it's open to the public, and we're just out to have a good time, celebrate the community, and raise money for local charities.
All right, great. And I'm assuming no issues the past couple of years you've had this, huh?
No, sir.
All right. Any changes this year from last year or exact same setup?
Exact same setup.
All right. Any questions from the board?
No, familiar with the event. I move we approve.
Yeah, I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, your request is granted. Thank you very much. Have fun and be safe. All right.
Thank you. I hope to see y'all there.
All right. Okay, next item, we have a request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property by the West Annapolis Business Association for Oktoberfest, which is scheduled for Sunday, September 24th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., located in West Annapolis and on Annapolis Street in Annapolis, 21401. All right, and who's here tonight for this request?
Hi there, my name is Mary Ostrowski. I'm the president of the West Annapolis Business Association. Along with the Civic Association of the community, we are hosting this event on the 24th.
All right, great. Thanks, Mary. Can you just give us your address for the record, please?
Sure, 1763 Meadow Hill Drive, Annapolis, Maryland, 21409.
All right, go right ahead and tell us a little bit more about this event.
The Oktoberfest is a family-friendly event. It is filled with vendors. The West Annapolis Elementary School also participates and kind of does their fall fest in conjunction with us. So we have a kids zone, all sorts of crafts being sold, food. It is, Oktoberfest themed, so pretzels and brats and so on and so forth. We have worked for, I don't know how many years. This is my first official year on the board. For several years, the Katzif brothers provide 2 sort of beer stations. We serve beer and wine. This year, RER has also joined our community over there on Melvin. So they are also going to have a small beer station stand as well. So it's just an afternoon for families to enjoy sort of the end of summer and the beginning of fall. There's a band with live music, kids, dogs, anything you can think of. And it's always a good time.
Yeah, I know it well. You guys haven't had any issues in the past that you're aware of, have you?
No.
Great.
No
Does the board
horses,
have any?
I'm sorry.
no horses this year.
The horses will be on December 26th. We'll have the Clydesdale
Okay.
back the day before Military Bowl.
Any questions about this request?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, your request is approved. Thanks so much. Have fun this year, okay?
Thank you very much. I hope to see you there.
All right. All right, next we have a open to the public event. This is the first one by the Fleet Reserve Club of Annapolis for the Annapolis Boat Shows. This is scheduled for October 5th through the 15th, 2023 from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at 100 Compromise Street in Annapolis, 21401. And who is here tonight for the Fleet Reserve Club?
Brian Porter, General Manager.
All right, Mr. Porter, tell us a little bit about this. I know this is the 20-some, 30-some odd year you've done this. Tell us a little bit if there's anything different this year, if you ever had problems in the past. You know the drill.
No problems in the past. Same setup as before. I think a day shorter because they're closed on Monday. So 8 days instead of 9. 10 to 6:30 at night. 10 in the morning, 6:30 at night. Front door will be guarded, so no alcoholic beverages go out into the city, and 1 truck for storage, buck distributing. No dispensing from that truck out in the parking lot. And it's the same setup as last year.
All right. Does the board have any questions regarding this request?
I move we approve.
I'll second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Your request is granted, Mr. Porter. Thanks for being here tonight. Have fun, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck, Brian.
Thanks, Dick.
All right. Next up, we have a request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property for the President's Hill Neighbor Association for the annual neighborhood picnic, which is scheduled for Saturday, September 16th, 2023 from 5 to 9 p.m. on Hill Street in Annapolis, Maryland. Ms. Feldman, how are you tonight? Good to see you.
Doing well, doing well.
Good. If you could just give us your address for the record and tell us a little bit about this event, please.
Yep, Bailey Feldman, we're at 22 Monroe Court, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. I am on the President's Hill Neighborhood Board. We have hosted this event for many years. We closed down Hill Street, and it's basically just a big neighborhood picnic barbecue. We do a big raffle, and it raises funds for the neighborhood association for like the next year to kind of cover neighborhood betterment projects and some of the work that we do or any of the events that we hold. Most of like beer and wine is what we serve, and then most of it is like individuals like in their houses who live off Hill Street, but we do have some coolers that we keep behind the table for those who would like.
All right. Pretty small event, no issues in the past that you know of, right?
Yep, small event.
Okay. All right. Does the board have any questions regarding this request?
No.
All right. Well, I would move that we approve.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, your request is granted. Thanks so much for being here tonight.
Cool, thanks guys.
See ya. All right, next we have a request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property issued by the issued to the Annapolis Musician Fund for the Annapolis Songwriters Festival, scheduled for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 15th, 16th, and 17th, 2023 from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. located at Susan Campbell Park, Annapolis, 21401. And I see Mr. Muehlhauser here and Thomas. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
Great. Can we just get your full names and addresses for the record, please?
I'm PJ Thomas, 701 Deering Road, Pasadena, Maryland, 21122.
Great. Thank you. Kyle?
Kyle Muehlhauser, 409 Grinstead Road, Severna Park, Maryland, 21146.
All right. Thank you so much. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the event this year?
Sure. Second year doing the event down at City Dock. It'll be in the parking lot area and Susan Campbell Park. This year it'll be 3 nights, ticketed shows on Friday and Sunday nights, and a free show on Saturday night. The events will run from 5 to 10 p.m. We have an experienced security crew that we work with for many years. Who'll be handling most of the IDing and entry into the area. We also hire a professional company, Wolf Security, to supplement extra guards. We have, working with Paul Gibbs, for police officers. We have police officers on site during the event, emergency medical services on site during the event. We'll be serving beer, wine, and liquor. That will all be staffed through our 4 restaurants that we have locally here in Maryland, through managers and bartenders at our locations, the majority of which will be tip certified. I'll be on site the entire time with the other parts of our management team. We do have crowd manager certifications for our team as well. And happy to answer any questions you guys have.
And you guys are doing the exact same setup as last year, pretty much.
Pretty much. It's actually a little bit more secure this year. We have fencing that goes all the way around the parking lot this year. Last year, we cut off the part on the Latitude side, and through conversations with the city, we stopped the flow of traffic from that side, which they didn't want. So there's actually the ability to walk all the way around. And because it's fully fenced, it just keeps the area more secure and really easier to manage.
Okay. No issues at all last year with the event. Didn't have to, nothing of note to report.
No.
Okay.
No issues.
Great. Does the board have any questions regarding this request?
I have none. I move we approve.
I'll second.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Your request is granted. Thanks so much for being here tonight. Good luck and have fun. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Next up, we have a request for an extension of licensed premises by O'Leary's Seafood, 310 3rd Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403, for an anniversary party, which is scheduled for September 30th, 2023, from noon to 5 p.m. at 310 3rd Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. And I think I see Mr. Peterson. Will, can you hear us?
There you
Perfect.
Trying to get my
All
video.
right.
Can you hear me? I can't
Yeah,
hear
we can,
you.
we can hear and see.
We can see you, Will.
Can you just give us your address for the record and tell us a little bit about this event? Can you hear us, Will? Yeah, we're having a tough time hearing you. Yeah, you're not on mute, but I don't know if you need to get closer.
Can we hear now?
Yep, we got you now.
I
Go
can't
ahead.
hear anybody though. Hold on.
Oh,
Bear with me. I apologize.
it's all right.
Can you hear us? Keep talking.
Of course, it's now giving me grief.
There, we hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
Screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
hear
we can hear
you.
you. Can you hear us?
All right. I can't hear anybody else. There's the problem.
Want to talk.
I apologize. I can't hear anyone right now.
Julian, do you want to see if maybe we can get him to call in?
That's what I'm saying. Cindy, do you have a
I'm
number for him by any
trying.
chance? No, just email.
Jeez.
I'll email him.
All right.
I'm gonna.
No. Why did it all change?
All right. Well, why don't we?
I'm gonna
There
send
we
it.
go. Now I've got you. Can you hear me now? I can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right.
All right. Beautiful. Don't touch anything.
Great job.
Yes, Mr. Fraley. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Just give us your address for the record, and then go really quickly so nothing changes.
Sure, no worries. My name's Will Peterson. I live at 111 Creston Road, Arnold, Maryland, 21012.
Great. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about this event, okay?
So the event, what we're trying to put together is for the MRE, the 25th anniversary party. I'm actually working in conjunction with Patty Slaughter and Raoul Graves from NBT Productions, and we are just trying to do a little get together in the parking lot with some music. I do have security on site. We're hosting all the liquor ourselves and providing all of that ourselves. Thinking maybe about 400 people. We're trying to be polite in the beginning part of this, but yeah. So I've got it's the first time I've done this with this, but I do remember the green beer races and everything being hosted back in the day in the parking lot. So we're starting off small here, and hopefully with the ambition to grow a little bit.
All right, and I see you guys are going to be providing wristbands to individuals who are over the age of 21.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right, and who do you have serving all of the beverages?
So it's going Mr. Raoul Graves and I, between his crew that he has and the staffing that I have, we're going to put together, and they're tip certified. Raoul does things correctly. That's why I'm comfortable working with him. Those are going to be the guys. Those are going to be the guys.
Okay. All right.
Is it a ticketed event or is it?
It's not. It is just, it's free. It's free. There's no charge for it. No, sir.
Okay.
How many people
But you have
do
to
you think
buy.
you can fit in that space, Will?
I'm sorry, sir?
How many people do you think you can comfortably fit in that space?
In that, I think like 350, 200 to 300 is probably the safe thing for us.
So then you guys are prepared that if the head count gets around that you're gonna stop entrance?
This was a conversation that Raoul and I have had just because we want it to be polite. The MRE wants it to be polite. Patty Slaughter wants it to be polite, and I agree. We're going to have a cake. It is going to be something that is just, polite-ish. You know what I mean? But yes, there is tickers on our security's hands, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're gonna be keeping track in and out.
Yeah. Have to.
All right. Any additional questions from the board? No. All right. Well, I would move that we approve this request, and I'd look for a second.
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 All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Your request is granted. Congratulations. Have fun. All right.
Thank you. Look forward to it. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Miss
Thank
Gates.
you. All right. Next, number 16, a request for the extension of sidewalk cafe seating with consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property by Stan and Joe's, Ram's Head 49 West, Luna Blue, Picante, and Tsunami for an additional night of Dinner Under the Stars, which is October 28th, 2023, from 3 to 11 p.m. by the Inner West Street Association. Mr. Danik, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you this evening?
Good to see you. If you could give us your address for the record and tell us a little bit about this final day of Dinner Under the Stars.
Yeah, so name's Jody Danick. I'm president of the Inner West Street Association. My address is 2981 Friends Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401.
All right, tell us a little bit about the 28th. It's just, I'm assuming based on the application, you want an additional day, no changes, everything's the same as it always is?
Yeah, so unfortunately, when we went in front of the board, we extended our dinner under the stars to October 21st, thinking that would be plenty of time. And, it's just not close enough to Halloween. So we wanted to do a big Halloween bash, masquerade ball, sort of the last dining under the stars. And hopefully we'll have great weather and some people in the streets. And we're going to try to grab Halloween by the horns this year.
All right. You guys haven't had any issues whatsoever with Dinner Under the Stars this year?
No, we haven't. We actually switched security. Now we have Annapolis Police doing security, so it's worked out great. And of course, Eric Beavers has been there. He's great. He talks to a lot of people. So we're lucky so far. It hasn't been any instance.
Great. That's good to hear. Any questions regarding this request?
I move we approve.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, Jody, it's granted. Sorry to drag you back here tonight. It's just, we got a process we got to follow.
Hey, we like seeing you.
Yeah.
Hey, and I just want to thank all of you for doing what you do, because there's a lot of events that goes on in Annapolis all the time. A lot of times you think, oh, we're the only event going on. And sitting through one of these meetings again reminds me how much actually goes on in Annapolis and how important it is that you guys are doing this work. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
See ya. All right. Next, we have an application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property for the Annapolis Sailboat and Powerboat Show, which is scheduled for October 5th through the 8th and October 12th through the 15th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Susan Campbell Park, Annapolis 21401. All right. Ms. Jones, can you hear us? All right. You're muted still.
Am I now?
Yep. No, you're good. You're good. Just give us your address for the record and tell us a little bit about this request.
Sure. My address, I'm Sheila Jones. My address is 1262 Steamboat Road, Shadyside, Maryland, 20764. And this is, pardon?
No, I said, all right, go ahead.
It's our annual tasting tent and our annual sail and powerboat show that we have every year. It's on a floating barge, fully fenced, with we have an ID checker at the entrance, and no one under 21 can even go in. And on top of that, we have tip certified bartenders.
All right. Same setup that you guys have had in the past?
Same setup, nothing different.
Right. Any questions from board members?
No.
All right. Well, then I would move that we approve this request.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Your request is granted. Thank you, Ms. Jones, for being here tonight. Be safe and have fun, okay?
Thank you. Come by the show. Thanks. Bye.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Next, another related boat show event. We have a request for an extension of licensed premises with the consumption of alcoholic beverages, limited food items, and live music to the Annapolis Waterfront Hotel for the fall 2023 boat shows scheduled for October 5th through 8th and October 12th through 15th, 2023 from noon to 6 p.m. at 80 Compromise, Annapolis 21401. And who's here tonight for this request?
My name is Chris Townsend. I'm the Food and Beverage Director for Puster's in Annapolis.
All right, Mr. Townsend, can you give us your address for the record and then just tell us a little bit about what you're seeking tonight?
Yeah, I live at 820 Ruckshire Drive, Arnold, Maryland. It's 21012.
Okay.
Asking for permission to do as we've done historically in the past to host the boat show events at 80 Compromise Street, to be able to park a beer truck out in front for storage from Buck Distributing, to be able to set up the stations around. with tip certified bartenders and crowd control managers to have music upstairs on the patio as we've done in the past and have the party on the patio, being mindful of noise in the area, having the music done around 6:30, 7 o'clock, making sure we have tip certified security on property and at all the exits as people are leaving, to make sure that no alcohol leaves the property. No changes to what we've done historically.
All right. No issues in the past with this event?
No, sir. Not in the 15 I've been a part of.
Music to our ears. Does the board have any questions regarding this request?
No, I move we.
I move we approve.
I'll second.
I'll move we approve.
All right. Well, it looks like we'll give it to Dick. Sorry, Ryan, but we'll give Dick the motion. Claire seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Your request.
Good luck,
is granted.
CT.
Thank you, Mr. See you next time.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. Next, we have a request for an open to the public event. This is the first one for the Peerless Wrens Club of Annapolis for Curly Taylor and Zydeco Trouble, scheduled for Friday, September 8th, 2023 from 7 to 10 p.m., 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis 21401. All right, ma'am, if you could just give us your full name and address for the record and tell us about this event.
Sure. My name is Keisha Kersey. My address is 5119 Lee Street, Northeast. That's Washington, D.C. 20019.
Okay.
I'm the president of the Peerless Wrens Club. We're a historic social club in Eastport. And this Friday, we are having a band, Curly Taylor and the Zydeco Trouble, and we would like to open it up to the larger public, specifically our Eastport neighbors and anyone else in Annapolis that just loves good music. Zydeco's music that comes from Southwest Louisiana features accordions, just a really great beat, really, really fun. Our members and guests typically love it. So we just were interested in opening it up so folks could enjoy the music, but also learn a little bit more about our club and our history in the neighborhood. The event is slated to be the band's going to start at 7:30 and end at 10. So we're trying to stay within reasonable hours. We always have somebody, two people that are posted at the door. It's typically a ticketed event. Nobody under 21 is allowed in. We have folks at the door the whole night, making sure that folks that are coming in are supposed to be there. And as they're going out, no one's taking any alcohol out. The bartender that we've been using is certified, and the majority of our members that are there also tip certified as well. We have two individuals that are members that are retired police officers. So we have them on hand as security as well. And I think that's all. Any other questions?
You guys did this last year, didn't you?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was fun. It was a great time. Some of our neighbors did come over. So it's just been a good opportunity for us to sort of reintroduce ourselves to the neighborhood. So we're always excited to tell people about who we are and what we are and welcome folks.
And we didn't hear any complaints from your neighbors. Did you guys hear any rumblings about how loud the music was? Okay.
No, and I typically, I have some of their numbers, so I typically let them know when we're having stuff as well, just so they can anticipate it. But again, we always try to end it by 10 o'clock so it doesn't go too late. The noise doesn't go too late.
Okay, great. Does the board have any questions regarding this request?
Chairman, again, I'm very familiar with this. They do a wonderful job, and I move that we approve.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, your request is granted. Have fun again this year, all right?
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, next we have an application for a special Class C one-day liquor license, including live music to Historic Annapolis for Blazers, Bourbon, and Cigars, which is scheduled for Thursday, the 28th of September from 5 to 9 p.m. at 186 Prince George Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. And who is here tonight for Historic Annapolis, Inc.?
Hi, I'm Kaylin Bedsworth here for Historic Annapolis.
Hi, Ms. Bedsworth. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Why don't you tell us, oh, can you give us your address for the record? Sorry, I forgot to ask you that.
Yes, it's 619 North Bestgate Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401.
All right, tell us a little bit about Blazers Bourbon and Cigars this year.
Sure. Blazers Bourbon Cigars is a premier fundraising event for Historic Annapolis. This is its 10th year. We'll be having that on September 28th. The event will start at 5 and end at 9. It is a fundraiser for Historic Annapolis that supports our work to preserve and protect what makes Annapolis unique. And it is advertised as a 21 and over event. We will have security at the door. We'll be checking IDs. All of our bartenders are professionals, and the bars close at 8:45. The event ends at 9. We will not be having live music. That was actually on our application. There will be no live music, but we've also never had any issues in the last 10 years that I'm aware of. We've had no noise complaints from neighbors, and it's always a great event. And if you're in town, you should come.
All right. All right. So no live music. We'll note that there's no live music request. Who are your bartenders for this event?
They are local bartenders who serve at assorted restaurants and catering businesses across town. We hire 5 to 6 professional bartenders. Yeah.
Great.
They're all tip certified.
Perfect.
As are most,
right.
a good number of our staff as well. So.
Great. That's really good to know. I'm glad you guys are doing that. Thank you. Does the board have any questions regarding this request? All right. Hearing none, I would move that we approve.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Your request is granted. Thanks for being here. Have fun. Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Julian, did we get anybody for the birthday party at the Stanton Center?
We have not.
Okay. Cindy, if we could just notify them that, oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, Mr. Chair, that he did email me this afternoon saying something about he's sorry he missed the meeting, that his mother had been admitted to the hospital. I explained to him that he did not miss the meeting, that it was tonight. But if he's got things going on with his family, he may or may not have seen that. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just inform him that he failed to appear. And I mean, if he really had an emergency, we can see if we can work with him. But you know, for now, let's just send him an email or a letter or something saying that he failed to appear, and as such, he cannot serve alcohol without approval from the board. All right. Thank you. Last item, we've got a correction to the July 5th, 2023 minutes. Which is going to indicate that no written testimony was received for the application for Chessie's Wharf. It's just a quick amendment to the minutes. Does the board have any questions?
None.
All right, well then I would move that we approve the amendment of the minutes.
Second.
Thanks, Ryan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, Cindy, for doing that. All right, and then last but not least, we've been referred 2 pieces of legislation to review. These have been circulated in our packets. The first is the creation of an art establishment beer and wine license, and then the second is an update to the code for technical corrections. I don't know if there's anything else we need to discuss here. It's really just kind of sent over for consideration. And if anybody has any questions, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, I would suggest that we send it back with favorable approval from the liquor board.
I agree with you. I think it's probably time.
Yeah. Makes sense.
All right. All right. So with that, I would move that we reply that we approve favorably both pieces of legislation. And is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. That will be sent over. Last but not least, we need to go into an executive session to talk about our violations and any additional comments or discussion that the board may have. So I'll make a motion that we go off the record and reconvene in an executive session.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.